Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we feature military tourism in India. We also cover all 25 new additions to UNESCO's list of World Heritage of Humanity, including one in India. Let's begin. 27 years after Indian soldiers recaptured Tiger Hill, the celebrated Kargil battlefield is emerging as a part of a growing military tourism circuit connecting visitors with the landscape, history and sacrifices of the 1999 war. Let's look at a few places you can visit if you're interested in military tourism in northern India. On July 17, the Indian Army and the Civil Administration of Dras conducted the Tiger Hill Expedition 2026 as part of the 27th Kargil Vijay Diwas commemorations. It was the first organized expedition to the historic battlefield since Dras was designated a district headquarters. 11 trained local tour and trekking guides from Government Degree College Dras participated in the expedition. Their involvement was intended to build local expertise, create livelihood opportunities and ensure that residents have a stake in the region's developing tourism economy. Tiger Hill was one of the Indian Army's most important objectives during Operation Vijay. Pakistani forces occupied commanding heights overlooking the Srinagar to Leh highway, forcing Indian soldiers to climb steep approaches under fire from above. After a daring assault in harsh winter and thin air, Indian troops recaptured the peak on July 4, 1999, shifting the momentum of the war. The Tiger Hill expedition formed part of this year's Kargil Vijay Diwas commemorations. India observes July 26 as the anniversary of the successful completion of Operation Vijay in 1999. At the Kargil War Memorial in Dras, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh joined veterans, serving personnel and families of fallen soldiers in paying homage. Built by the Indian Army in 2004, the memorial stands beside the highway connecting Srinagar, Kargil and Leh. From the site, visitors can see several of the heights over which the conflict was fought, including Tiger Hill and Tululing. The story of the battle is also being carried beyond Ladakh. At the Kargil Vijay Diwas program in Jodhpur, Rajasthan, the assault on Tiger Hill was staged live. Expeditions, memorial visits, veteran accounts and performances are taking military remembrance beyond annual wreath-laying ceremonies and introducing younger audiences to the human experiences behind the war. The expedition to Tiger Hill follows earlier efforts to make selected military sites accessible to civilians. The best-known example is this, the world's highest battlefield. Welcome to Siachen Base Camp, located in the eastern Karakoram range of the Himalayas in the Indian Union territory of Ladakh. Between 2007 and 2016, the Indian Army organized demanding Siachen treks for small, selected groups of civilians. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh announced a wider opening in October 2019, but regular access did not begin immediately. Known for its harsh weather conditions, Siachen Base Camp was formally open to domestic tourists on September 27, 2021, when Ladakh MP Jamyang Tsering Namgyal inaugurated the initiative on World Tourism Day, and the first tourist group was flagged off. Access was simplified in May 2023, when the Ladakh Tourism Department announced that domestic visitors would not require a separate permit or Army No Objection certificate to visit the designated civil tourist facility near the base camp. From action-packed zones to a quieter abode, let's take you now to a border village close to the line of control, just 10 kilometers ahead of Kargil. This is the road leading to Hundarman that offers distant views of army posts and bunkers, visible as small white dots on the mountain tops. The village appears with stone houses so closely to the hillside that they are initially difficult to distinguish from the landscape. Hundarman is often called a ghost village, although it is not entirely lifeless. Surrounding fields are still cultivated, while its deserted homes retain traces of the families who once lived there. Many villagers have rebuilt their homes further up the hill amid the tensions. These houses have small galleries containing household objects, documents and other possessions left by their inhabitants, a place where geopolitics and history collide. Visiting such places can help travelers understand the conditions in which residents near the border live, and by exploring some of these battle zones, one can feel what valor is. Those who visit these sites often leave with a deeper understanding of service, sacrifice, and the history written across these mountains. India's ancient Buddhist site of Sarnath has now earned a place on UNESCO's prestigious World Heritage List. The inscription is being hailed as a landmark moment for India's cultural and spiritual tradition. Here's more.
For 1,000 years, pilgrims, monks and travelers have walked the sacred grounds of Sarnath in search of history, faith and enlightenment. Located near Varanasi in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, Sarnath is one of Buddhism's holiest sites. It is here that Lord Buddha is believed to have delivered his first sermon after attaining enlightenment, an event known as Dharmachakra Pravartan, or the turning of the wheel of Dharma. The sermon laid the foundation of the Buddhist community and introduced the principles of the Noble Eightfold Path, marking the beginning of Buddhism's journey across the world. Now, this ancient center of learning and spirituality has received global recognition. The ancient Buddhist site of Sarnath has been inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List during the 48th session of the World Heritage Committee held in Busan, South Korea. The inscription makes Sarnath India's 45th UNESCO World Heritage Site and the 4th such site in Uttar Pradesh, joining the Taj Mahal, Agra Fort and Fatehpur Sikri.
This is a very important place for Buddhists. This is a spiritual place for them. All Buddhists, whichever country they live in, try to visit this place once.
A large number of tourists will come here, and it will also generate employment for the government-approved guides.
The World Heritage property includes two key components: the Jokandi Stupa and the archaeological remains of Sarnath, which comprise of the Dhammik Stupa, Dharmarajika Stupa, Mulagandha Kuti Vihara, the Ashokan Pillar and several other ancient monuments. Sarnath has flourished for centuries under the patronage of kings, monks and devotees. Temples, monasteries and stupas were built around the spot where the Buddha met his first disciples and delivered his first sermon. The site preserves an extraordinary archaeological record spanning nearly 16 centuries, from the pre-modern period in the 5th and 4th centuries BCE until its decline and destruction in the 12th century CE. It is also among the most extensively excavated sites by the Archaeological Survey of India. Although Sarnath faded into obscurity after the 12th century, it was rediscovered in the 18th century. The site had remained on UNESCO's tentative list since 1998. India submitted its official nomination in January 2025, followed by an 18-month evaluation process, including technical reviews and an on-site assessment by the International Council on Monuments and Sites, before receiving final approval. Last year, the Maratha military landscapes of India were inscribed on the World Heritage List at the 47th session of the World Heritage Committee, held at UNESCO headquarters in Paris. The recognition this year is expected to strengthen India's identity as the birthplace of Buddhism, while deepening cultural ties with countries including Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Cambodia and Vietnam, where Buddhist traditions remain strong. With Sarnath's inscription, India now has 45 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, ranking 6th in the world and 2nd in the Asia-Pacific region for the highest number of recognized World Heritage properties. For a site where one sermon changed the course of history, the latest recognition assures that Sarnath's legacy is sure to inspire generations across the globe.
From sacred pilgrimage centers and medieval castles to coral reefs, wetlands and legendary mountains, the world now has 25 new UNESCO World Heritage properties. Let's take a look at what has been added to UNESCO's coveted list beyond Sarnath. The decisions were taken during the 48th session of the World Heritage Committee in Busan, South Korea. The latest additions include 19 cultural properties, 5 natural sites and 1 destination recognized for both its cultural and environmental importance. Together, they offer travelers 25 new reasons to explore the history, architecture and natural wonders of our planet. India is celebrating the inscription of the ancient Buddhist site of Sarnath. Japan's ancient capitals of Asuka and Fujiwara have also joined the list. Their palaces, temples and royal tombs reveal the emergence of Japan's early centralized state and the foundations of cities that would later influence Nara and Kyoto. Thailand's Wat Phra Mahathat Waramahawihan has been recognized as a major Buddhist center shaped by more than 1,500 years of religious and cultural exchange. Its towering reliquary, ceremonies and living traditions continue to attract pilgrims to Nakhon Si Thammarat. Across Asia, UNESCO has also recognized China's Jiangdeshen porcelain sites, charting the journey from raw materials and historic kilns to the creation of porcelain traded around the world. Kazakhstan's rock mosques of Mangistau bring together sacred spaces carved into caves and cliffs, while Mongolia's Chongnu cemetery complexes reveal the burial customs and engineering skills of an ancient nomadic empire. Iran's Alamut Castle and 6 associated mountain fortifications have been listed for their role as the political, military and intellectual center of the Nizari Ismailis. In Uzbekistan, Tashkent's modernist buildings showcase the reconstruction of the city after the devastating 1966 earthquake, blending Soviet-era planning with Central Asian identity. Europe's additions span several centuries of history and design. Finland's Aalto works bring together 13 buildings and ensembles associated with architect Alvar Aalto and his collaborators. Poland's Gdynia modernist city center reflects the transformation of a small settlement into a major interwar port. Italy's newly listed system of 10 condominio theaters celebrates a community-funded model that brought elaborate performance spaces to smaller towns across central Italy. In France, the D-Day landing beaches preserve the coastline where Allied troops landed on June 6, 1944. Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau and Sword beaches together with Point du Hoc now form a World Heritage landscape of conflict, remembrance and reconciliation. France also secured recognition for the royal Capetian fortresses of Languedoc. The inscription includes the castle and ramparts of Carcassonne and 7 dramatic hilltop fortresses built to consolidate royal authority after the Albigensian Crusade. Across the Mediterranean, Tunisia's blue and white village of Sidi Bou Said has been honored for its architecture, cliff-top setting and enduring spiritual character. Lebanon's Mount Amel castles form a strategic network shaped by Crusader, Ayyubid, Mamluk and Ottoman rule. Sebastia in the West Bank has also been inscribed for its layered archaeological heritage spanning successive civilizations. In Africa, the historic Medinas of the Comoros reflect centuries of Indian Ocean migration, trade and Afro-Islamic culture. The Rocas of São Tomé and Príncipe preserve the landscapes and infrastructure of colonial coffee and cocoa plantations, while confronting the history of forced migration and labor. Brazil's Amazonia Theatres captures the ambition and wealth of the Amazon rubber boom through grand theatres in Belém and Manaus. The 5 natural properties are equally striking. Jordan's Aqaba Marine Reserve protects the world's northernmost tropical coral reef system, with hundreds of species of coral and fish. South Sudan's Boma Badingilo migratory landscape supports one of the planet's largest remaining mammal migrations, involving an estimated 6 million animals. The United States' Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge protects a vast peatland of swamps, forests, savannas, and extraordinary biodiversity. Denmark's western Limfjord cliffs preserve exceptionally detailed fish fossils from the earliest Eocene, offering a rare record of evolution during dramatic climate change. And in the United Arab Emirates, Wadi Wuraya safeguards a mountainous wetland ecosystem and more than 1,000 recorded plant and animal species. The sole mixed property is Greece's wider Mount Olympus region, long celebrated as the mythical home of Zeus and the Olympian gods. It is also a landscape of limestone cliffs, deep gorges, and rare plant life. From Sarnath's sacred ruins to the coral reefs of Aqaba and the summit of Mount Olympus, UNESCO's newest inscriptions stretch across continents and thousands of years. For travelers, they open new windows into the places that shaped humanity. For the communities protecting them, World Heritage status brings global recognition and a renewed responsibility to preserve them for generations still to come. Festivals have a remarkable ability to bring people together, from South Korea's famous mud-filled playground and Benin's spectacular masked processions to one of Japan's most treasured festivals battling extreme summer heat. These celebrations offer a fascinating glimpse into cultures around the world. Let's take a look.
Every summer, Gion Beach transforms into one giant playground where visitors swap clean clothes for muddy fun. This year's festival, now in its 29th edition, has once again drawn thousands of locals and international tourists eager to dive into giant mud pools, wrestle in slippery pits, and even enjoy mud massages.
I had a chance to come last year too, but I couldn't come. So now that I've come this year like this, I think it's really fun. There are a lot of things to enjoy, and there are a lot of things to see.
I think foreigners would like it. And also, since the club music here is really blasting, I think it's more than enough for people in their 20s and 30s to come and enjoy. It's really fun.
Originally launched to promote Boryeong's mineral-rich mud, known for its skincare benefits, the festival has grown into one of South Korea's biggest summer attractions. Running for 17 days until August 9th, the event also features live concerts, beachside performances, and family-friendly activities. Perhaps, sometimes the best way to beat the summer heat is to enjoy the mess. The streets of Porto Novo came alive with color, music, and centuries-old traditions as thousands gathered for Benin's annual Mask Festival. The celebration brings together elaborate wooden masks, vivid costumes, and rhythmic drum performances that honor the country's strong cultural heritage. Many of the masked figures known as Egungun or Zangbeto are firmly placed in local beliefs. They are seen as protectors of communities and symbolic links between the living and their ancestors.
Le Festival des Masques est très important, selon moi.
The Mask Festival is very important, in my view, for Benin because it allows people to discover the country differently. It offers a deeper understanding of its spiritual traditions and highlights the festive side and everything the festival has to offer.
The festival also showcases mask traditions from across West Africa. Organizers hope the festival will continue to grow into an international meeting point for traditional mask cultures, while giving visitors an understanding of Benin's history, identity, and spiritual traditions. Kyoto's centuries-old Gion Matsuri returned this summer, but this year the spotlight wasn't only on the towering festival floats, it was also on the intense heat. Hundreds of participants pulled the elaborately decorated floats through the city's historic lanes as temperatures climbed close to 40 degrees Celsius. The Adamatsuri procession, the festival's second major parade, is believed to ward off disease and bring blessings of health and safety to the community. But increasingly frequent heat waves are making that tradition harder to sustain. To protect participants, organizers set up hydration points along the route, allowing people to cool down and reduce the risk of heat stroke.
We're already in July right now, but I imagine this festival might end up shifting to September or May. In 20 years from now, it'll just be way too hot to hold it.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we return with more next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.